What does Bill Belichick do at the quarterback position with Garapolo, do you think?
I think he listens to what the best offer is. What people don't understand is trading draft picks translates into players. So, and you have got to be able to say, if we traded Garapolo for the 12th pick, this is the player we would get. Is he worth Garapolo? And look, I've said this before, if Jared Goff's worth a king's ransom, if Carson Wentz is worth a king's ransom, I've watched Jimmy Garoppolo, and people think, well, you're just shilling for Belichick. You're trying to give him. I watched Garoppolo when I was the GM of the Browns. I go back with Garoppolo, and I think that Garoppolo is going to be a star in the waiting. I think whoever gets Garoppolo will have a legitimate chance to have their quarterback problems solved for the next 10 years.
But so Belichick trades him when? When does he trade him?
He's got another year on his contract, and it's a modest contract. I think it's $1.1 million, and then he can franchise him and then trade him once he franchises. So he could
franchise a second-round draft choice?
Once he becomes a free agent, he could. Look, when you have a 40-year-old quarterback, I think you have to be careful about where you go with Garapolo, and it has to be the right deal for you. I don't think you just trade him away because you think Brady's going to play for the next 5 years, because Brady thinks he's going to play for the next 5 years.
Do you think Brady's going to play for the next 5 years?
I would never rule out Tommy Brady in anything he does. When I first went there in 2014, I was thinking that Tommy had maybe hit the wall and was not playing as well. But in the last 3 years, last 3 years especially, I think he's gotten better. I mean, look at the run he made the other day. I mean, it was the longest play of the game up until that point.
It was a crucial play. I mean, I've got a few minutes left here with Michael Lombardi of The Ringer. So Brady, as you know, his dad said, when asked how it's going to end up in New England, he said it's not going to end up well. He said that because of the way things go down.
Yeah.
How do you think things wind up here?
I think it'll end up – look, it's typically 40-year-old players that ends up because of an injury. And you don't want to wish an injury on Tom Brady at all. But at some point there is a declining level of skill play, which we haven't seen out of Tom Brady.
And Belichick doesn't wait for that. So when it all comes down to it, with Garapolo needing to have a decision made on him in the next calendar year, okay, or the next year from now, okay, and Brady being 40, what do you think?
I think, me personally, if I was the GM of the Patriots, I would hold on to Garapolo until I got the best package offer, because I can't predict the future. I don't know how much further Tom can go. I know he turns 40. There's no scientific data that says 40-year-old quarterbacks, all due respect to the great George Blanda, continue on with their careers. So I would play the odds, and then if the right deal came along, I would find the right deal to make. If it was the right deal, I wouldn't just give him away to somebody, because I know one thing. I'm giving away a tremendous asset, a kid who's – if he was with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco playing in their offense with Kyle Shanahan's offense, San Francisco would turn their team around quickly.
So maybe John Lynch makes an offer to Belichick he can't refuse?
There you go. Maybe
and then they go in with Brissett and backing up Brady, hope Brady lasts forever and get somebody else.
The problem with the offer that they can't refuse is you have to know Garapolo intimately. Like when I first when Kyle Shanahan came into Cleveland, he was standing on a table to get us to trade for Kirk Cousins. There wasn't a lot of evidence to say Kirk Cousins was going to be the player he ended up being for the Redskins.
So you think he's going to do that in San Francisco?
I think somebody would have to know Garapolo to really stand on the table. Would he be interested in Cousins? Absolutely, but I think the Redskins know they can't afford to let him out there.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.